All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition. Merely Bo, the great Z. I like how you're dressed right now. You got a great, would we call that a stocking cap? Winter cap? A beanie?
A nice beanie.
Nice beanie.
Oh, yeah.
That's an original beanie. That was the one that was, we're going to, Mr. Zagura, can we have that beanie now?
Yes, that's right. On the sidelines in Baltimore, Maryland.
You could argue that
right
beanie
off my head.
led to the off-white or the Kareem hoodies.
The Kareem.
The Kareem hoodies. That was the groundwork.
Yes, you could say that was the spark that lit the fire of the CBD hoodies.
That's what allowed for it, was that right there. And then I got to say, that's the scores.
Oh, baby.
9 and 5 each.
9 and 5.
Too easy. Too easy.
So that means 9
You're
and
welcome.
5. Quick math. That means that after this week, we are both exactly 26 games over 500. You're welcome. We can't take advantage of it.
Live.
I can't take advantage of it, so I hope you are.
You know,
I've seen a lot of tweets where people are
buy
riding
that
the heater.
sports car. Do something reckless.
People are riding the heater.
Take a big vacation.
I do see a lot of that on the socials.
That's happening, brother. And then I do like this. This is like a crew neck.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it feels like a sideline geary.
Yeah, I picked up a few
I
things
like
that you'll
that.
see unveiled over the next couple of weeks that are.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good
thank
one.
you.
I think that's.
And I have a
think
nice
that's
one
sharp.
that white.
Okay.
A little thicker, fleece lined for like it would be a nice on a day like this that you'll
Yeah.
see with the 1946 logo.
1946. Is that a crew as well?
It is.
It's a crew.
I don't wear a lot of crews, but I'm
I don't
gonna
either,
work
but
some in.
I bought one. I brought one out a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, you know what? I don't have this. I don't rock this look much,
But I like it.
but I think it might be okay.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just as a
Because
change
this
of
is
pace.
more of a. It's not quite a T-shirt, but it's more of a T-shirt.
Yeah, but it's a nice layering piece.
It's a nice layering piece.
Very
And
nice.
actually, I had it under a vest today.
Perfect. Home run.
Shorts, vest,
Yeah, I like
layering piece.
Yeah, you went back with me. You got the shorts back.
I did.
It's a state of mind. It tests you. It tested me last night. I was at football practice last night, and the shorts tested me. And then my good buddy Rangers called me over, and he said, "Hey, I got something." Pulled out a pair of Newmans.
The gloves?
Coaching gloves.
Oh,
yeah,
baby.
the gloves. Come on. Who's got a spare pack of Newmans? He's picking a spare pack of Newmans around. Go Rangers. This is a gift from God.
It's legendary.
Who doesn't
Legendary
want to throw some
performance,
Newmans
Rangers.
on? Good
Yeah.
job at a Rangers on that. Very good job.
By the way, you'll be happy to know that pretty soon I'm going to be I got ordered a couple of the 9-inchers today. So we'll see what that looks like on the shorts.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Did you go up in,
No, I just went
stayed, and then just
leg.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like to see. I'm
so
very
I'll see
curious to
how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a couple.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
a couple.
And I
Just
picked
see
up a
it, just to-
jogger.
Just the. I think you will like that. I think
We'll
you'll
see.
like that. I think that'll
That's
do well.
I
for
went
you.
for the dress jogger because that's what I needed.
I don't
to
have
replicate.
those.
That's what I went for.
I have the Sunday.
No, I went for it's like the meta maybe.
Easy. Don't give away too many
Well,
secrets.
that's who knows the meta. Means
I know.
that,
We just got to be careful.
for the
We gotta
kids
get
though.
careful.
Meta means whatever the best is.
It takes me a while to like search for these
yeah,
things,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden it gets out, and then I got to
Yeah.
find something else. So we can't have that.
You won't. These you'll keep for even because they're just so comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen these in the population now, and at great. It's just the most comfortable shirt.
They're not everywhere, and you really have to like look to see the
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's not like you're wearing like a designer T-shirt that says it like giant. Across,
That's true.
You know?
Yeah. I was trying to explain to my boy, my middle boy Beamsy, he's calling everybody who he thinks is kind of a dork Johnston. Like, what
Why?
are you doing, Johnston?
Where's
I have
that
no
from?
idea. I have no clue. I think it's possibly made it up. I hadn't heard it before
Is there
from
a
anybody
kid
else.
in his class named Johnston?
No,
That
he's
is-
just calling. He calls like if you do something, he calls Bootsy Johnston now. All of a sudden,
You
so
should call him a schmohawk.
I like that too. I think I'd love that. So
Come
I was,
back at that.
I was trying to explain to him that there was actually something called a Big Johnson T-shirt
Oh,
at one point.
it was
That was a big deal.
fishing rods, of course.
It was. That's right. It's very, very good. All right, enough with the tomfoolery. Let's do some business, then we'll get back to the tomfoolery.
Well, we don't know.
Mary Kay Cabot dropping a note late yesterday reporting that All-Pro guard Virgil Batonio left the Browns facility on Wednesday of the bye week on crutches.
Great.
Fantastic. Ethan Posick not practicing yesterday with the Browns. Fantastic. Great. Just all sorts of good stuff for us this bye week. And then we have a contusion. Can you tell me I know you're not Dr. Voos, but do you have can you tell me the difference between a bruise and a contusion?
No.
Give it!
Yeah. What I believe, my understanding of it,
Should we ask if Gibby can tell the difference between a contusion and a bruise?
No, he definitely can't.
You're going to sell me short there?
No.
Do you want to set the tone for today's show that way?
Tremendously sell you short.
We sure we want to
Do
go
you
down
know?
that road?
Do you know before being checked?
But, like, come on. How
I
about
think they're the same. I don't think there is a difference.
There's no difference? I don't know what the difference
Contusion is the medical term for a bruise. Exactly. Boom.
So it's the
You're
same
welcome.
thing. All right, so same thing.
Yes.
So it
There is
came
no
out as
difference.
like
trick
if it was-
question.
It came erroneous on all
Erroneous.
accounts. It came across as like, oh, this is new. This is a different injury.
So-
and the reality is everyone's just an idiot. They don't know the difference between a bruise and a contusion, of which there is none.
Because there isn't. But it's being called a rotator cuff bruise per Tom Pelissero. So my understanding of that would be it's because, remember, medically cleared. So this is something that maybe doesn't show up necessarily on an MRI as any damage to the rotator cuff, but there must be typically a bruise. This is all speculation. These are not scores. A bruise would be accompanied by what? Why is it change color? Blood.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps there is some fluid there,
Okay.
and it's causing discomfort.
There you go.
Look, I feel like we should get to a point where we're able to play with this quickly. Does that point come this week? No, and I think when we look back at where we sit right now, the thing that should be pissing every Browns fan off is that we absolutely blew it against the Steelers. Had we won that game, we'd be 3-1. You could say, you know what? Chances are the Niners, who have won 15 straight regular season games,
Yep.
they're good. It's going to be a tough one under any circumstances. But you could give, if you needed, your quarterback another week to get healthy and say, we want you fresh for that stretch where you really hit it. Worst case scenario, maybe we pull off a miracle and shock the world. Worst case scenario, we're 3-2, tied atop the division, and have it all in front of us. Still have a winning record through 5.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we blew that game egregiously has put the Browns in, I think, a very tough spot because 3-2 and 2-3, while they sound similar, are very, very different.
Yeah, and it was a divisional one.
You've been 2-1 in the division.
I'm very proud of the fact. I think you and I are very measured on this show, especially with the negative stuff, and with the positive stuff, we're just ridiculously chesty and enjoy the best time. We're not measured in any way.
No.
But I do remember being the feeling after Pittsburgh of going like, you blew it, boy. Like that was it. That's what it felt like coming out of it.
Yeah.
It felt like it was one you were going to rue the day that it happened for
Like last year, week 2.
Low these many weeks, and you are. It's very, very painful. So yeah, I mean, who knows? No one knows at this point. Deshaun knows. I assume the coaching staff knows, and that's it in terms of where he
I don't think
will
anybody
be.
knows.
Nobody has a clue. So you don't know if he comes out Wednesday. And what practices? We always do that thing. What practices are you paying attention to? You paying attention to Thursday, Friday, those type of things. This is now, though, going into – I mean, that happened in the second quarter of the game against Tennessee.
The rest of the game. He lit them up the rest of the game.
It was second quarter, right?
Yes.
Lit up Tennessee, and then that next whole week, and now we're through a bye week and now into the third week with this. So who knows is the long and short of it. The Bitonio news – came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, and again, he's the guy that he's on a massive consecutive start streak, consecutive snap streak.
It's way up there, right? It's not
No,
Joe, but it's way up there.
He's like a few seasons away from Joe. I think he's in the 6,000s in terms of the streaks. He has made, last week was his 102nd consecutive start. So this is a guy. By the way, crazy thing in that same game, Morgan Moses had not missed a game since 2014, 133 straight starts. The right tackle of Baltimore got hurt against us and ended up missing the game against the Steelers. So his streak was broken. Joel Bitonio, the guy always finds a way to get out there. My guess is he is going to, do everything he can to be ready to go. And perhaps there was something over the bye week they needed to attend to. And so we'll see what happens. Because reports were that he left here on crutches. He was certainly not on crutches after the game against the Baltimore Ravens and was not mentioned with an injury. So that sounds to me like this was an opportunity to maybe fix something that was ailing him.
There you go.
Again, no scores.
No
idea.
scores. No clue. Yeah. And we will have Coach tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll speak. So that will be the first time you get a chance to get some clarification on some of this stuff. There's one thing that at least what you got last night was competitive. You did not get good. It was bad ball, really bad ball. It was salvaged only by the ManningCast for me. I would not have continued to watch it if not for the ManningCast. Peyton Manning's disgust on his face that he cannot hide, even though I think probably he knows that he should. And then what comes out of his mouth when bad ball happens is among the funniest things on television for me right now. And the one that got me was they're leading up. They're in the third quarter, or maybe the second quarter, and the Raiders have the ball. Devontae Adams had one target. And
Throwing the ball.
Lamenting the fact that they will not throw him the ball, and Manning's just hammered it.
Jacoby
and he
Myers.
goes, "Oh yeah, let's run another reverse, one of the 8 reverses." And then sure enough, they run a jet sweep for -1, and his face, perfect.
By the way, he's so
priceless.
Good. He's so good too. He knew on the last play, he's like, all right, they're gonna throw it here. You got to throw it here. And then he saw something, and he goes, nope, they're running it. And he was like so mad, and they ran it right in the middle line. The play that led to 4th and 1.
Yeah.
By the way, Daniel Carlson's missed field goal, doink, cost me a fantasy game. Thanks a lot.
Boy, NBC won by 2 because Jordan Love only had to get 5.
The first thing I looked at this morning, I looked at the box score, and I'm like, did Jordan Love get 5?
Barely. He needed 5. I think he got 7 total points.
You get negative for interceptions?
Yeah, now negative 3 points for the 3 picks.
There you go.
NBC came down this morning, still dark, 6 o'clock in the morning, fired up that he only won by 2. He was on pace for 155. Well, this is what happens. And again, it's my fault because I told him to draft Rodgers in like the 9th round, and that I didn't have him draft a backup.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say one other thing about the ManningCast.
Please say a great many things about it.
You know how much I love it.
It's amazing.
It is. And I like that we're down to 2 guests. It's perfect.
They got the sweet spot.
Now they've nailed it. It's not the broadcast to watch with a group of people. It's sad. It is such a better broadcast.
Oh, this is very interesting. So that because you have Pedro, you have Sue.
Yeah.
So now you have people
talking, and I'm just trying to listen.
Oh yeah, it's no good for that. I find myself yelling at the boys, like, "Will you just be quiet so I can hear?"
Yeah, I'm trying to listen.
Saying right now.
Right.
You're right. You can't casually watch the ManningCast. That's what it is.
No. So we had to switch in the middle to just put the regular broadcast on because I was getting frustrated.
This is a new development.
Because I want to hear what Peyton Manning has to say. And,
that's right.
And Eli, even at times.
Yeah.
And certainly when they had Jimmy the Camel on there, I wanted to hear him. So great. Jimmy Kimmel's hilarious.
It was amazing,
and I could hear they already were having some good, funny banter. And I'm like,
let me just
listen to this.
Yeah.
So no listening. It was unfortunate. And then the problem for my dad, God bless him, is, he's got his hearing aids in. So, they kind of latch on to one of the sounds. So then he was getting frustrated because either he couldn't hear us talking to him because his hearing aids were latched onto the Mannings or whatever. So he's like, enough with it.
I can't do it.
Yeah. So
so
far they've come in and they've in my 2 favorite NFL viewings, one is the quad box. Nix that.
Out.
Can't handle it. And the other is the ManningCast. And it's normally on a Monday, Kaylee gets very excited for her. Miss K gets very excited for her fantasy teams if there's somebody playing on Monday,
sure.
And she was excited for some of the action. But she'll also use that time on a Monday night to read or to whatever. So then I can be it's just
locked in.
It's like I'm hanging out with Peyton and Eli.
It is.
It might as well be the 3 of us singing. We're the 3 best friends that anybody could have. And now it's total chaos.
Okay, so there are 2 instances where ManningCast doesn't work. A game you care about,
and then
that you're in terms of your team.
Yep.
That and then group setting.
Like I used to be,
that makes sense.
There was a time many years ago where, on Monday nights I would have people over. We'd have 8 people over and watch Monday Night Football or Raw, whatever. That would not work with the man. Like when it's a man, I'm cool. I'm cool just being in my own corner.
Yeah. I
don't need anybody else.
No. You're good.
As much as I love
That's
the,
a good
the
point.
company of other people, and it's nothing I'd ever encountered before.
Yep.
And I was like.
I do find that
especially because the game was bad, they enhance.
The only reason it's watchable is with them. You would never watch that game otherwise. It's awful.
They enhance that game significantly, and not that Buck and Aikman, do certainly everything they can, but they make that watchable. And the disgust for bad ball is just so great.
He just can't handle it. Peyton cannot tolerate it. Eli tries. I don't think it bothers Eli as much, but it bothers Peyton. It bothers him. He's like, it's an affront. It's personal attack on his intellect. Bad ball.
I don't think there's much that bothers Eli.
No, I think life's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Cruising along. He did pull out one of the – it's not often that a piece of physical comedy takes me to tears.
Okay.
But when he pulled out – did you see this? When he pulled out the Manning fathead with the giant forehead?
The giant forehead?
It was this tall.
Yes.
When I first saw that, I was moved to almost
tears. You guffawed?
Yeah, I thought that is great.
Yeah. And then he was folding it.
Clearly Peyton hadn't seen it before. So a lot is scripted on that show. That wasn't.
He was
he was the look on his face upon seeing it was quite good.
It was like, you son of a gun.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
I believe we had that. Jordan Love is not good. He's actually quite bad. And up until this week, he's been a big fantasy winner. So he's one of those guys that if you just pay attention to fantasy, you're not paying attention to the games, you might think that he's been really good or a good start to the season. He's not. He's not good at all. And was just dreadful in the game last night. Look, it's so great.
He's just punching it.
So amazing, that giant melon. But Jordan Love absolutely sucks. And it does bring into question like how much of a pain in the neck Aaron Rodgers must have been in Green Bay, that they were like, knowing that this was the alternative, that they were quick to try to jettison Rodgers' departure up there.
Yeah.
Because, like, they knew who Jordan Love was, right? They knew it. And they did that. They were trying to get Rodgers out of there to play this guy.
I think that it had run its course. You have to see what you've got in him. You did
Don't
draft
you
him.
know?
I mean, it feels like you should know.
I mean, he's pretty clueless, bud.
Yeah.
Pretty clueless.
Well, he just doesn't see the field. He had Christian Watson open for touchdowns at least twice, like where he beat the guy off the line, and you got Peter LaFleur jumping up and down on the sideline on one of the clips.
Well, that's what the Mannings were upset about, is that he was almost coming off his reads too quickly.
Yeah.
Like they kept saying, look, it's there. Just wait a second. You don't have to bail on this
give it
so
a breath.
quickly. Let it develop, and then you'll be able to land it. Also, I think it's any time that Mark Davis can call his head coach. Now, is this what Pedro called you as like his big shot at you? Dumb. Yeah.
Yes, that's what
I thought.
Was it.
That's what it came into my
Dumb.
head.
Yeah.
So then when I saw, well, no, it's probably the other dumb.
No, so he did not do that. His was dumb S.
So this was
his,
dumb A,
which is his own unique. I've never heard that anywhere else.
No, I don't think not often.
No.
I don't know that I would agree with that.
What Mark Davis did last night is much more common.
Yeah. And his
related.
Very, yeah. Both the word dumb.
Yes.
Would be the common denominator.
And there's a linkage.
There is, for sure. There's a linkage. Can't have one without the other.
Right.
His reaction to Josh McDaniels with that was pretty good. I also think the internet's undefeated. So Mark Davis is with a lovely lady friend who's in the box with him, and within a half hour of it being on television, she was tracked down. Her Instagram, all of it tracked down within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then also a video of Mark Davis sitting at the slot machine at the McCarran Airport waiting for her to come in on a plane playing slots.
It's also
in a Raiders out. I mean, it's not like he's inconspicuous.
Not with that haircut.
It was unreal.
Is that gambling on team time? I feel like that's
it's a good point.
I feel like
I guess I never thought of it in that context.
We had a little seminar about that.
Can team ownership play the slots at McCarran? For God's sake.
Well, he's not on a team trip because he lives in Las Vegas.
That's true.
He
lives there.
Is it team business? Is it?
I think picking up your lady friend at the airport would not be characterized as
team business.
That sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, are you using team resources?
That sounds like
he is the resources.
Sounds like personal.
That's
business.
what. There's a little gray area now. Why don't we figure that out, League?
Yeah. Great line from my Uncle Kel once. We were at a family gathering, and somebody said, well, you know, he was putting the show on, and they said, well, who supplied all of this? And my Uncle Kel said, well, I did. And they said, well, you mean County Line Farms, which is the name of the farm where I grew up. And he goes, I am County Line Farm. That's Mark Davis. He is the Raiders.
I am the Raiders.
He is the Raiders. What are you going to do?
Just win, baby.
He went from being worth like $500 million to $3 billion with that little move. That worked out pretty well.
Good move.
Very good move. Those two teams both suck. By the way, 8 teams are 3-2. 7 teams are 2-3. The Browns and Chargers are both 2-2 so far, so parity run amok in the National Football League. I think there's really only like 3. I think there might – you tell me where to correct me on this. I think there are 3 teams that are just legitimately good. There's one that's great. 3 that are – then 2 more that are right next with Philly, Miami, and then I think Detroit.
So I think there are
Detroit's
6.
4.
I think there's 6 really good teams.
Who are your next 2? Kansas City and
Buffalo.
Buffalo's got 2 losses though. It's weird.
Yeah, but they're good.
I think they are too. But it's that like to have 2 losses out of that team already is a little wild.
Buffalo turns the corner, they lay an egg.
They shouldn't have went to. They went too late. They went Friday to England. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And Jacksonville's sitting there waiting. Jacksonville's won 2 in a row now. They're kind of in a good spot.
Yeah, they got to come back home though.
They do.
We'll see what happens.
Well, and the other thing is like when they stayed over there, I mean, I'm sure you think about they're trying to get all that stuff funded down there. Their president was out, I think, last week saying, like, look, if you don't give us this money to get this done, we'll go somewhere else. They've always been the team to go to Londden.
Yep.
Always. They've been doing this
They're
for
really good
well
there.
over a decade. They're really good there. The Jaguar would obviously work quite well as a mascot over there. You get rid of the teal and go with what would you go with? Maybe a bright blue, a gold, and red.
About a beef eater.
Like go off of the Jaguars? And
Yeah.
Go beef eaters?
Yeah, we're in London now, baby. We're not the Jacksonville Jaguars anymore. We're the London beef eaters.
There is Jaguar is synonymous with London, so there is.
Now it's got to be switched to the car, though.
Well, that's what got them in trouble. Remember their original uniform design that looked too much like the cars, so they had to bail on it.
Yeah, but now we lean into that because now we're there.
Yeah, so
and
now
maybe
we
can work something out. Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe even change the colors to like a Bond colored.
Bond drove an Aston Martin. I would say from a Jaguar, you're probably the iconic British Jaguar would probably be like a forest green.
A forest
green. Probably
green.
what you would be going for. So
I was sort of like a silver. I was thinking silverish.
Yeah. Well, you could do like a forest green, a gold, and
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, something like that.
I
Maybe
think
soft gold.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the London beef eaters, and having them in red and black would look awesome.
I think it would too. That's a mouthful.
It's great.
Yeah,
beef eater.
Yeah. It's
on
pretty
the
good.
Beef Eater Radio Network.
Beef Eater Daily?
London Beef Eater.
Who gets hurt?
London Beef Eater Daily.
We get a little house in the country.
LBD.
LBD. Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Bring this whole act.
The Beef Eaters would be great.
It would be. It'd look great on a T-shirt.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, and the logo, like you could have kind of like the way that the old Pat the Patriot was. You could have like a Beef Eater snapping a ball or a Beef Eater like throwing the ball.
I like it. I'm for it.
I think this could be great.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shad Khan.
Yeah.
Talk to our agents. Hot Topics today presented by Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner
We do have
of
a lot
your
of great
Cleveland
ideas
Browns.
that just
really
go into
do.
the ether.
They
It's
do.
sad.
Someone just needs to grab them.
Someone grab them and do something with them.
Those are the Hot Topics today presented by Vivid Seats. Head to Vivid Seats to purchase brand new premium terrace experience. Your ticket comes with pregame field pass parking, all-inclusive food and beverage, and a $50 Brown Shop gift card. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. One thought around the league coming up next on a Tuesday edition. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, Cleveland Browns Daily broadcasting live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Mentor next Tuesday, October 17th, 1 to 3. Special guest Reggie Langhorne signing autographs on site from 2 to 3 o'clock. Visit the Cleveland Browns Facebook page to learn more on that. Time for one thought on every game from Week 5. Hello, Gibby.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, we're doing.
Hey, by
brother.
the way, I think it's supposed to be like 70.
When?
Tomorrow or Thursday?
Tomorrow, I think Thursday's rain. Thursday.
It
looked like it was a big rain-ish.
Yes, it's coming.
Thursday.
Winter is coming.
67 on Friday. It's a nice day. Sun and clouds mixed. Sunday for the game? Not so great. But it's early. We're like 6 days out still. I don't know. 65 tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, fine.
Might be all right.
Might be okay.
But it is. I was looking at the extended, and it's pretty much the fun is
There
gone.
is some kind of massive cold front coming through next week, I believe. Like, they were forecasting, like, Florida to be in the 50s.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, this is not.
And if Florida's in the 50s, what
Who
does
wants
that
that?
leave for us?
Who does that help?
Hey, we're going to a dome.
Well, in like 2 weeks.
And then hopefully
Yeah.
forevermore.
And then hopefully forever, yeah.
Oh. All right, one thought. Week 5. And we'll kick things off with jolly old London and the future Beefeaters taking out
I do
the
like that.
Buffalo
Come
By the
Bills.
way, Beefeaters, the nickname came from. So it's for those who don't know, they are the guards of the Tower of
That's
London, and they're the guys with the little. They're not the guys with the high hats. They're the shorter hats.
Shorter
is their
hats, yep.
operation. And the name Beefeater, no one knows exactly, but the most common belief is that it came from when they would get to eat with the king. They were allowed to eat as much meat as they wanted. So
like
Beefeater. That's where it came from.
Sign me. I would have been a great Beefeater.
Oh, my God. Elite.
Tremendous. The whole Zagura
No, I
line,
think
really.
you are currently.
Yeah, I am.
You are
I
the
am.
preeminent Beefeater in Northeast Ohio.
I like that. If they wouldn't go with I really think I'm onto something. I think these uniforms, I see them in my mind's eye. I think they'd be
Red, black,
stunning.
and gold.
Yeah, stunning.
Yep. Predominantly red.
Yeah, great.
Yep, black hat.
A black
with,
hat.
With,
Duh.
of course. And then you go with a red stripe with a little gold, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a gold stripe with a little red,
Yeah.
mimicking like the thing around the hat.
What if they reject the Beefeaters because they're dumb? What about the London Calling? London Calling.
I don't.
Like
I
that
like where you're
song?
going
You like
with,
that?
but I don't like.
What's a
like,
calling? I don't know.
Right. I don't want to have to do like what we have to do. What's a Brown? It's a guy.
Paul.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't like having to do that.
Jacksonville takes down Buffalo 25-20. Both teams now, bless you, 3-2 on the football season. Zagura, one thought from you.
The NFL is wild because careful. If I were to tell you Josh Allen went 27 of 40 for
Always get
360 yards, 2 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 102, and also ran in a third touchdown, you'd say to yourself probably that the Bills,
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
they're going to go ahead and win this game. If I told you Diggs had 121 and a touch, Davis had 100 and a touch, you think they win the game? They did not.
Yep.
The Jags are good, and when what they did in this game that was a lot of fun was, number one, they got Calvin Ridley involved. But they've got 3 real weapons in the pass game, Ridley, Kirk, and Evan Ingram. ETN is a very good running back. They look good. By the way, they're not playing Dearness Johnson at all. Like, what would it take to get Dearness Johnson here?
Man.
Nothing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Bring him back.
I'd love to see him come back. But Bills are a good team. Jags are looking like the team we thought they were going to be. This was a very good win for them.
It took them a little while,
Yes.
but they found their mojo over in London, and I think this is what we thought that they would be. We had them as like a fringe Super Bowl-ish team, and I think that's where they are now. They are in the upper echelon of the AFC for sure. So yeah, they grew up a lot over there in 2 games.
I think they activated Von Miller. I think he played a little bit, but
He did play a little bit.
Milano got hurt.
Yeah,
He's
there's
gonna be out for a
Tre'Davious
while.
White, Milano.
They signed. Who did they sign a couple hours ago? Oh, Josh Norman.
Wow,
Josh Norman is back.
How about that?
Signed to the team's practice squad in Buffalo. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. The Atlanta Falcons take down the Houston Texans 21-19. Falcons on the season 3-2. And the Texans, solid effort, but they come up short. They're now 2-3 on the year. Bishop, one thought from you.
Stroud's really good. I'll use my one thought on this though. Good for Desmond Ridder for having a game, because obviously the thing that has been, and I still think it's all right, question him and the choice and all of it. But he had a nice game. And so I was happy for him, the human, to have a nice game when everyone's like, well, you're the weak link. And then he finally had himself a decent game.
Segura?
C.J. Stroud's really good. He's really good. And I think that
That Christmas Eve game.
They are a team that
They play hard.
You know, if all goes well for them, you know, I like this. I like this team. I think they need one more piece in the pass game, and I don't know if John Mechie, they drafted him in the second round 2 years ago. Obviously, he missed last year with cancer, and then he's back.
He's great at Bama.
Can he kind of develop into that real guy for them over the course of the year? Because that really seems to be all they're missing. Nico Collins is nice player. Tank Dell's nice. Dalton Schultz, the tight end, is good. They're missing that one big guy. They don't have anybody's picks, right?
Do they have ours?
No. We're
done? Giving them picks?
No, they still have one more.
We have one more year without one?
Yep.
So they still have one more. But they gave everything to Arizona.
Yeah, they gave theirs to Arizona because Arizona's going to pick 1, 2, or that was the
Right,
thought.
that was
Now
the thought.
they might pick like
So
7,
they have
8.
no chance to get that receiver via the draft then. But
No.
I think that's kind of to me what
they
they're
could with our
missing.
pick. You might get Emeka Ibuka with the pick. I mean, this is a good receiver core in
Yeah.
college football again. Marv's on another level, but then the next guys, there's some other guys out
It'll be
there.
great when we can have a first-round pick again.
Be nice, yeah.
We'll see you in 25. The Lions take down the Carolina Panthers 42-24. Lions now 4-1 on the year. Carolina 0-5. And their head coach talking, there was a weird soundbite from him.
Oh, God, did you hear that?
Talking about with ownership.
That he's meddling and making them meetings and they're not comfortable, but it's a great experience.
It's
He's
a
like,
great
"Yeah, but it's
experience.
great."
Yeah, I don't say I
I'm
love
getting
them,
better.
but they're
Well,
great.
supposedly he didn't want Bryce Young now is starting to come out. He was not a proponent, and the
Well,
owner
don't-
wanted Bryce Young.
Don't you remember Josh McCown, who was like all in on Stroud?
It was a
Yeah.
love fest with
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Couple things in this one. Number one, I hope Jared Goff at some point people put some respect on Jared Goff's name. Guy is a baller and was certainly
good.
as he was worthy of being the number one pick that year. I love David Montgomery. I thought one of the coolest things you saw at the end of that game, they're blowing him out. Montgomery, who has scored every game that he's been a Detroit Lion, at the end they wanted to put him in when they got down the goal line, and he said no. And they waved Craig Reynolds back onto the field, and then Craig Reynolds scored, and Dave Montgomery was like the first person in the end zone celebrating with him. They've got a special chemistry there. They are very good. Their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, I think that's his name.
I believe so.
He'll be a head coach next year. He's really, really good.
Laporte
They're
is a
really
stud.
good.
The Montgomery trade that trade off works
Yep.
very, very well for them. They did this without Amon-Ra St. Brown. They did it with Jameson Williams doing next to nothing in his first game back, but I think at some point that will happen.
Yep.
No Gibbs either in this game, right? No Jahmyr
Correct.
Gibbs.
Yep.
And they still just boat race.
They don't need that's why that pick was silly. They could have gotten a great number of things at pick 12,
gosh,
right?
yeah.
Other than a running back that, quite frankly, they don't really need.
No, they have buy-in and belief
Total.
probably as big as anybody in the league.
Total. The one thing I would say, fantasy-wise, if he is somehow on a waiver wire, he should not be. But if he is, Adam Thielen, because they are awful, and he throws him the ball constantly. He had 13 targets in this one. The last couple of weeks, he's had like 30 targets.
Yeah.
So get him. By the way, my boy Jimmy Bang Bang says, what about the London Hooligans? I wouldn't mind that either. I'd want the guy from
It's
Euro
a copyright
Trip.
infringement with my golf league.
I want
That's
the guy
true,
from
yeah.
I want the guy from
See you in
Euro
court.
Trip that played the hooligan in Euro Trip. I want that guy to be the logo.
I want him to be the ambassador.
Yeah, all of it.
The spokesperson, everything. I do worry about the injuries with the Lions. They've had a lot of injuries here in the last couple of weeks.
They have.
But are they the they're the third best team in the NFC.
For
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Top 5 in the
Yeah.
league. Yeah.
And the other thing is, often, when it's a 1-2 pick at the same position, we're usually talking about quarterbacks and you compare them. Like the Jags not taking in Hutchinson was a big mistake. I mean, he
So
is
strange.
so much better than Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
I don't know.
Did you see the interception?
I did. Yeah.
Off of a tight end screen.
I don't
read
understand. I
Unreal.
never understood that in the moment.
It. Yeah.
That was one of those that I did not. There's no revisionist history there. When they took Trayvon Walker, we were like, really?
A lot of people, though, had him at the top of the board because of his tools, right?
Oh, my God, with the tools.
Well, listen, I do think that you get caught in those situations where it's like,
It kind of made me, I kind of wonder, like, if the league was like, yeah, Detroit's going to have Aiden Hutchinson. He was a great player at Michigan. Like, he's going to play for the Lions.
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
Trayvon Walker.
The Doors looked at the tape.
Trayvon Walker this year has 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits, 5.5 career sacks. Aiden Hutchinson's got to be like near. He had 9 last year as a rookie. He's got to be way above that now. Yeah, he's up to 14 sacks, 4.5 sacks already this year.
Yeah, he good.
He's a beast. 4.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for loss, fumble return, an interception, a forced fumble.
Yeah,
He's got
stuffer.
He's got 4 career picks. Would you have had that?
No.
Aiden Hutchinson. He had 3 as a rookie.
To the AFC South we go. The Indianapolis Colts go to 3-2 on the year. They lose their starting quarterback, though, in the process. A 23-16 win over the Tennessee Titans. Hard fought. Both teams, they're both going to be around 500, I feel like. That's how this is going to go. Bishop, one thought from you.
Just why acquiesce to Jonathan Taylor? I don't understand it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense. Like, you have this huge fallout in camp, which threatens to derail your season. Then he goes away for 4 weeks. Then he comes back. Then you give him the extension that's above market value. And then Zach Moss runs for 150 yards. I don't know what in the hell you're doing.
Why didn't they play
the
him?
Operation.
Why didn't they play him?
I have no idea.
Like, if Cooper Kupp came back and played like normal. You just gave this guy all the money, and you're going to be like, oh, you'll have 6 carries.
You're the backup.
We'll give Zach Moss 23. Wild. Minshew looked pretty good in this game. I think that against teams that, don't really get to the passer, he's going to be good. Against teams that do get the passer, I think he's going to struggle. Has Derrick Henry lost it? Is he finally like those big physical running backs are wont to do?
Feels
unfortunately,
like
has he reached the point of he's maybe a quarter step slower than he used to be? And when you lose a quarter step as a Derrick Henry, it could be the difference between being, elite and not. I'm pulling up his stats right now in the season, but he does not have a 100-yard game yet this year, I believe. He's averaging. So he does have one 100-yard game when they beat Cincinnati. That was a good game, but his per game averages 3.3, 1.8, 3.2, 4.2, and then 5.5 against the Bengals. He's averaging right now 3.8 yards per carry, which is the lowest of his career by half of a yard.
Yeah. Cooked.
When it goes, it goes.
It might be. I don't know. We'll see. And it could also be game script. It could be teams are not afraid of them doing anything else. But, I mean, the fact they let A.J. Brown go is still one of the most unbelievable
They tried doing
decisions.
what the Vikings did.
And Mike Vrabel would agree with
Treylon Burks.
No, but they thought that they were they thought they were doing that.
That doesn't work.
It worked once. One time.
Once.
All right. Onward we go. The Dolphins improved to 4-1 on the year. The New York Football Giants dropped to 1-4. Dolphins 31, Giants 16. A game that I really thought would be a lot more lopsided. Was not. Zagura, one thought from you.
They kind of dialed it back. The Dolphins didn't
rope-a-doped them in the second half.
They didn't score in the fourth quarter. They weren't even. They put up 31 through 3. They're good. Devin Achane could be going on IR.
Yeah,
he's going to be out for a few weeks at a minimum. Oh, so then Mostert will be. Oh, Jeff Wilson just comes back off IR. They're going to be just fine. They're unbelievable to watch. The Giants are not fun to watch at all. Saquon Barkley, you want all that money, and he did.
He's not playing.
And it feels like that happens a lot more often than not with him.
It does.
Right? Like, let's look. I'm pulling up his per season games played.
It's okay. While you pull that up, guess what game they're playing in this week?
Probably prime time season.
Yeah, it's Sunday night, I think. Yeah.
Giants at Bills.
That's awful.
That'll be a bloodletting.
So he played in rookie year 16 games, then 13 and 19, then just 2 in 2020, then 13 again in 2021. Last year, 16 out of 17.
Yeah, so he played more than you thought.
And then this year, 2. And he's already missed. He's missed 3 this year, but he misses at least
misses
3
always,
games.
Yeah. The New York could easily go into tank mode, which might be a smart thing for them to do. I know they just redid Jones, but that might be the smart play for them. And this was the first. Tua was not great in this.
No.
So it's the first game that he hasn't been lights out.
He's still not great. Was still 22 of 30, 308 yards, 10.3 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they got the most. They have the most explosive group of characters in the league by a wide margin.
Yeah.
Up next, a team that's not good. Not good at all. The New England Patriots get shut out and get blasted again. New Orleans 34, Patriots nothing. Bishop, one thought.
On a very short list of the worst losses of the Belichick era. I mean, New Orleans isn't good. They drilled him 34-0. I don't think he's going to get through the year because there's too much respect and all of that, but he's done in New England. This will be the last year.
Feels that way. The Saints aren't bad. I think the Saints are actually decent. You've got a nice offense with Kamara back.
Dude, do you remember
Didn't
that
they
game
just lay
they
an
played
egg
2
the week
weeks
before?
ago?
Without Kamara.
No, 2 weeks ago. No, last week they had Kamara. They got
Last week.
drilled by the Bucks.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Carr was hurt that week. He couldn't throw the ball 2 yards. I think they're decent. I
Middling.
didn't say they were good.
Middling.
I think they're decent.
Give me middling.
I think they've got a
decent means to me makes it feel like they're better
The
than
Packers
average.
I think
beat the Saints,
Like if
18-17.
the Saints ended up in the playoffs, it would not stun me.
That's a product though of
The
their
NFC.
division as much as it is.
Sure. But I
them
think they
being
have a decent defense. I think they've got some players on defense. I think they've got, with Kamara, Michael Thomas, they got to get Olave going. Olave's like
No, they
persona non grata. What's he got? 3 catches the last 2 games? The Patriots are terrible. I don't understand how you could even think Mac Jones is good. I don't get it. I don't think he's good. He's slow with the ball. I thought it when we watched him play. There's
nothing
But
special.
their backup quarterback
But their
didn't even
rosters-
make their initial 53.
Their roster is terrible.
Yeah.
The receivers suck. There's nothing there. It's a nothing.
You know what's wild to me is when you have situations like that, like they do. Ramondre Stevenson is a playmaker on some level. So last year, Ramondre Stevenson was awesome. In 2022, ran for 1,040 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. He also caught 69 passes for 420, so 1,461 scrimmage yards. In 5 games this year, he's got 275 yards from scrimmage. He's averaging 2.8 yards per carry, and then they're not throwing him the ball at all. They went from throwing him the ball 4 times a game to throwing him the ball maybe twice a game. It's very odd, his utilization right now. I find it to be very odd.
All right, to the AFC North we go. The Squealers are in first place in the AFC North. They take out the Ratbirds 17-10. Zagura, one thought from you.
The Steelers have some type of very incredible mojo that allows them to win games that they shouldn't. They should be 1-4 with 4 losses of double digits or more. Their differential still -31.
Yep.
But here's the other thing. And you got people who did not watch the game being like, are the Ravens getting their money's worth out of Lamar Jackson? If you watched how he played against us and then you watched this game,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson was almost as good as you could be in this game in terms of his ball placement, extended plays, all of it. He ended up 22 of 38 for 236 with a pick. He probably should have been 29 of 38 for 350 and 3 touchdowns with a pick.
Mm-hmm.
He is very, very – he's good. They got to catch the ball. But there is just something magical about the Steelers and their ability to win games. They have no business winning this game. They had no business winning this game. And how wild was it that when they throw the touchdown to Pickens – that Matt Canada doesn't even celebrate, doesn't even smile? Like,
Nothing.
dude, that may have saved your job.
TJ Watt is the most clutch defensive player in the game.
When he needs it, he does it.
He is
every
clutch.
single
And it's
week.
not even like a sack in the first quarter. It is a strip sack fumble touchdown. It's the most
It's a
dynamic
game-changing
play at the time when they have to have it. Boom, gets it. And he's done it twice in divisional games to us, and he did it to them.
Yep.
He's ridiculously clutch.
By the way, if Ravens fans want to question anybody in the money they're making, the wide receiver they signed in the offseason that currently has 7 catches for 79 yards in 3 games.
We didn't play
Odell.
it, right? Odell's been
He
out.
missed 2 games at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, he's played 3 games.
Yeah, we knew that. That was
Correct.
that one that screwed up the
We
whole
all knew
receiver.
that.
Screwed up the receiver market too,
Yep.
Yeah.
because they paid him a deal that was not
By the
anyone
way,
else going to match.
So the Jets aren't even playing McCole Hardman at all,
Yeah,
and they're looking for a trade. I know we were interested in him.
Yeah,
I wonder if there was something. He's a guy that I think has an intriguing, long-term skill set of speed.
3 straight years, 500 yards or more receiving.
Yep.
yeah.
There you go.
And a lot of touching. Good, Gibby. Gibby, look this up.
Doesn't happen often.
I
Sometimes
like
you get lucky. Bengals take out the Arizona Cardinals 34-20. Bishop, one thought from you.
Jamar Chase is going to be the first team All-Pro
7-11.
receiver. Is going to be that cat. He had 15 catches in this one. He had, 11 the week before. They didn't have Higgins. They just throw it to him every time. He catches most everything. He's explosive. And then now that Justin Jefferson's done, too, that'll add to it. But he's going to have a shot to be a first-team All-Pro receiver.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't understand what it took, obviously, Burrow's health, and, yeah, he appears to be back to my eye. His ability to kind of move in the pocket. He had the one where he drifted right and then throws to the back corner left to Chase. It was a great play. Bengals are good. I mean, they didn't, I think that they did at 2-3, they feel very dangerous.
If they beat Seattle this week and go to 3-3 into their bye week.
This is a big test to see kind of where they actually are.
Yeah, they're at home. It'll be cold. That will be there. If they can get to 3-3 at the bye week, you ask people down there, they'll say, well, we'll win the North.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And they might have an argument. We'll see what happens. A lot of football left. All right, we got to go rapid fire because this is taking up the entire first hour, which is a good thing.
This is a good thing.
Zagura, one thought from you. Eagles 23, Rams 14. And I believe we do have some news regarding the Rams. The Falcons have agreed to trade for Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson. It's a 2025 pick swap. 6th and 7th rounders. They hope to recapture his play from 2021. Low risk, high reward deal.
I wonder if we were looking at that because he's a young vertical receiver on a
Florida
rookie deal.
They never really meshed for them there, but
he had one good year.
Was it the rookie year?
Good
Yeah, it was
job,
the rookie
Bruno.
year. He came out of nowhere, kind of. Yeah.
The Eagles finally got Goddard involved. They're still not 100% clicking, but they get it done every single week.
Rams are going to be frisky with Nakua and Kupp, Williams, Stafford slinging it all over the place. They're going to be frisky.
Jefferson, real quickly, in 2021, 50 catches, 802 yards, 16 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns for his career, 15 yards a catch. I think the Rams are frisky. They are not going to be an easy out for anybody. It's weird to me that the Eagles, it doesn't feel like they can get everybody going.
No.
Devonta Smith, 1 catch in this one, but then this was Goddard's game, so he had 8 for 117. A.J. Brown is the guy that it feels like every single week is a beast. And then knowing what we know now about Nick Chubb, it would have been nice if DeAndre Swift was a Cleveland Brown. And that's no slight to Jerome Ford or to Kareem or anybody. He's
Different
a
level.
true 3-down, do everything back.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop, one thought from you on the Hackett Bowl. The Jets 31, Broncos 21.
Stay humble. Stay humble's the thought for sure. I do think that Denver plays Kansas City Thursday.
Yes, Travis Kelce practicing today.
What a warrior. I'm going to tell you this. If they lose it and go to, 1-5,
Yes.
do they fire sale?
The
I think them.
Broncos?
I think they're open
I think
for
them,
business.
the Vikings. I think there's some fire sale opportunity here.
Who do they sell? Judy?
Judy, yeah, probably. I don't know their roster well enough, but do you start selling everybody who's of value? Do you try to trade Russ?
I mean, on the back end, Justin Simmons, maybe the free safety, Pat Surtain, but they're not trading him. He's too good. And
No,
too
they would
young.
keep him, but you could see some of the other guys.
Yeah, I don't know what they would do. My takeaway from this game is it was amazing to me that they kept trying to give Dalvin Cook the ball as much as Breece Hall. Like, Breece Hall is a
Just
special
let him eat.
player.
Yeah.
He is special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the fact that Matt Campbell had Breece Hall and Brock Purdy at Iowa State
That's wild.
and didn't win more? Hate to do Northeast Ohio and Northeast Ohio crime, but holy smokes, man. You got those two?
Yeah.
Maybe win a little more.
Yeah.
Zagura, one thought from you. Chiefs 27, Vikings 20.
I'm glad Travis Kelce is okay. I'm sad Justin Jefferson is not, although this year I didn't have him on any. I didn't have the opportunity to draft
Oh,
him
I
in
did.
any fantasy football leagues.
Yeah, I have him.
So I'm sorry for you.
Between Rodgers
Get
and
Jordan
Jefferson.
Addison. Jordan
Crushing it.
Addison is going to be.
He's already gone, long gone.
Yeah. Osborne.
I'm fine. I
probably.
got enough receivers.
You got enough
It's
receivers,
going to
good.
work out. But, it's tough to lose him.
Again, I go back to the one thing though from yesterday. We got to make sure we are right down the middle on these Chiefs games now that we got
I
Taylor
love
Swift on
conspiracy,
board.
Nate.
So not only did they pick the flag up against L'Jarius Sneed, which was
Yeah.
a blatant pass interference,
Yep.
He then took his helmet off in the field of play, and instead of throwing the flag for that, they told him to put his helmet back on.
NFL wants T Swift involved. They want her.
You
They want the
think
Swift.
Amazon-
You run the-
you think
that's
Amazon's
why-
not like Travis Kelce has to play Thursday
That's
night.
why you don't.
we need.
That's
a
why
Swiftie
you
to
don't,
boost
as
our
the
ratings.
NFL, make mention
Yeah,
of the
right.
Chiefs are 2-0 since becoming Swifties. Like, you don't put that on your official
You
stuff.
don't need to do it if you're the NFL. You're the behemoth. You don't need
You're
to
the
do
behemoth.
it. There's no reason to. Kansas City not all there with the
No.
receiving crew. Like, they're trying to make it work. And Mahomes is so good, and Kelsey's even battered is still so good that it's working. Pacheco's actually been their best offensive player other than Mahomes all season.
Sky Moore. Sky less.
Guru. That is a perfect one right there. That was a very good job.
That and Beefeater. You've had quite an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see
that
it.
was very
Next
good.
level's
49ers
next. I'll see you
42,
tomorrow.
Dallas 10. Bishop, one thought from you quickly.
The Niners are the true great team in the league. That was a clinic. I said it yesterday. It reminded me of, like, if Z played like Bootsy and Madden. Like, it was just the answers, everything. It was so easy. Everybody was so open. They could have scored 63. Truly. They could have scored 63. They could have named their score. And the Cowboys are good. They're good. But they got absolutely boat raced. And that squad that's humming.
Yeah.
They're the best team in the NFL. And you know, Micah Parsons had made the mistake a couple of years ago of being like, Debo, Sam, who's that? And they don't forget.
Nope.
And they said it's personal, and they went out there and they played a game like it was personal. That was a beating of epic proportions. And, you know, now you got people, is Dak the right guy, questioning everything in Dallas. I don't know. CeeDee Lamb's not happy.
I wouldn't start with Dak. I would start with your head coach.
I just think
the
it-
gentleman he once sat out here on
Well,
the
of
couch.
course. I guess stuffed so siege.
He did. He really did.
Like,
They should have fired him when he showed up in that full khaki outfit.
oh
Remember
my
that
goodness, the
outfit?
camel. Yeah.
Just head to toe camel.
Um,
Like, at that point. All right.
they should. I don't.
But
understand-
remember, he watched all that tape in his barn.
they shouldn't have let Kellen Moore go
No.
to the Chargers. If you were going to, because
Jarrah.
they liked him.
Jarrah.
Yeah, that's a place that feels to me like, and I don't know if it would work, but it does feel like if Bill Belichick is free at the end of this year,
Parcells did it.
Dallas feels like a place that he could end up. Dallas Chargers. Thank you.
You said it.
Yeah, I did say.
I know. I like it.
I think those would be the places.
Those are the places. Yep, that's the spots where it goes. All right, Browns fans, Express Beer presented by Bud Light brings the same facial authentication technology used in Express Access to beer purchases in the stadium. Dedicated Express Beer stands. Fastest way to get a beer in Cleveland Browns Stadium if you're 21 or over. Go to the Tickets tab in the Browns mobile app to learn more. Second hour of the program coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Pound. Milk-Bone has created the ultimate collector's item for you. It's guaranteed your dog will love it too. Stop by the team shop at Cleveland Browns Stadium Saturday, 10 a.m. Grab your limited edition Browns branded Milk-Bone box. You see it here on the desk if you're watching on the stream. Browns legend Josh Cribbs will be signing autographs from 1 to 2. SJ and the Pups will be there from 2 to 3. For more information, check out the Cleveland Browns Facebook page. Inventory is limited. Make sure you make plans to now secure this exclusive box of treats for your pup Saturday from the official pet treat partner of your Cleveland Browns. And now here's Sione Takitaki at the podium.
When you watched,
You're down.
I'm assuming that you may have watched the 49ers game last night. And if you did, what were your thoughts and impressions of Brock and George and the gang?
Yeah, really, really good team. Obviously, they're 5-0. They put some great things on tape as an offense. A lot of guys that could do a lot of things, personnel-wise. So really good, explosive team. I feel like Brock Purdy does a great job with the ball, and they got a great running back, some pass catchers, Kittle, good O-line, and so, it's going to be. I'm excited for the opportunity to go against a great team, and we're excited.
What's unique about Kittle comparative to when you put it with an Andrews or a Kelsey or somebody like that? What makes him unique?
Yeah, Kittle, man, he's a really good blocker too. He's a little thinner than Andrews, but you watch him on tape, he could block as good as he could catch. You know what I mean? He's I feel like he's a complete tight end. You can kind of line him out. With the wide flex, he can kind of do things there. But with his run game, he's kind of one of their big guys in the run game and helping block, chip DNs, and working up to linebackers. And so, and obviously he scored 3 times, so you guys know what he could do when he catches the ball. But just wanted to highlight his blocking game too. So excited to go up against him.
How imposing is that offense when you watch them on tape? I mean, you watch it on TV and they just seem to, hit you hard, hit you fast.
Yeah, well-coached team. I feel like they do a good job, taking care of the ball, making sure that, they're not giving it away. Brock Purdy does a great job with his reads. A lot of movement pre-snap, a lot of eye candy, but, I think they're a real solid team. Obviously, it's the reason why they're 5-0, and tip our hat to those guys. We're excited for the matchup.
It seems with Kittle and with McCaffrey in the passing game, they kind of stress the linebackers more than most teams. Is that fair to say, at least in the passing game? Or?
Not really. Every team has what they do right. I feel like, it'll be a big challenge for us, but got trust in the guys that we have, and it'll be a good match.
To kind of combat that eye candy. I mean, it seemed like the Ravens kind of threw a little bit of that at you guys, but with how much motion the 49ers.
Yeah, just being prepared for it. Just knowing that they're going to do that. They're going to probably watch tape and knew. You know what I mean? Saw that it worked a few times on us, but that's just what they do. I think it was like 80% of the time, they have pre-snap movement, and so just being aware of that. You know what I mean? Knowing that they're going to move guys and run some other plays.
That Ravens game, and then looking ahead to this one, did you guys miss tackles, or did they do something? It seemed like they had more success running than the first 3 opponents. So how do you make sure that doesn't happen this Sunday? Yeah,
just getting back to the details, man. We pride ourselves on a team that swarms to the ball, tackles guys, including myself. So I feel like, just getting back out here on a Monday, and working on the details of bringing your feet and working, as a whole of swarming to the ball.
So did you not swarm as well as you did? Not you personally.
We could do better, for sure, yeah. We could do better.
Coach Stefanski said there's an emphasis on ball security and taking the ball away defensively and special teams. What do you think is going on turnover-wise defensively?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest stat, in football that helps teams win. So I feel like, we just got to do better as a whole, keeping the ball, and then as a defense, taking it away. And we work on that, every day as a team. So we'll continue to get after it until it's right.
A month of watching you guys defensively, what would you say is the biggest difference in mentality defensively from last year?
The bond with the guys, and then you know, the scheme stuff is kind of different this year, letting the front four just kind of, you know, get after and hit certain spots. And so I feel like that helps us out. And then we have, you know, great cover guys, you know, with the back end. We've been talking about this, you know, for months now. And I feel like it's, you know, you guys are starting to see, obviously, you know, we could do better. And so that's why the bye came, you know, at a good time for us to kind of see what we've been doing good and what we've been doing bad and just kind of fix up the things we need to do.
You feel like the scheme fits the personnel
Oh, yeah.
well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think we have the right guys. You know, 4 games, you know what I mean? We'll see what the next 4. It's a long season, you know what I mean? So, you know, we're excited to keep this thing going, get back on track.
Over at the other sideline, you have one of the best linebacker duos in the league in Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner. What makes them so good?
Yeah, I actually played with Fred at BYU, so that's my dude, man. He's a baller, very smart player who's really disciplined, and Greenlaw is obviously physical. And those guys just fly around to the ball. I feel like the schemes have fit them well, and you know, they've been putting it on tape year after year. So excited to, you know, see those guys in action too. It'd be good.
What do you take away from Fred during your time with him?
Yeah, just the biggest thing, he was a real disciplined guy, you know what I mean? You know, at a time where, you know, you're 18, 19, kind of, you know what I mean, kind of learning things, I felt like he was just very mature for his age in college, and it's definitely paying off.
Hey, you mentioned, sorry,
Is McCaffrey kind of guy that makes that offense go? I mean, they have all those weapons.
Yeah, they have all those weapons, but McCaffrey definitely, you know, adds more explosiveness to their offense. Him being fast, you know, the stuff that they could do with him, lining him out in empty, letting him run routes, and then also what he does in the backfield. You know, he's an explosive player. Definitely helps the offense be more explosive.
You mentioned Purdy a couple of times. You know, he goes from last pick in the draft and now he's like the leading
MVP candidate. What is so impressive about it?
I feel like most impressive is just how consistent he has been with his reps and you know, the games he's been out there starting. I feel like that's probably I would say the most. And then, you know, he just took advantage when he got his opportunity. You know, went out there and, you know, took advantage, and then, you know, no looking back. You know, he's kind of their guy. So I feel like he's been doing well.
How's your knee hold up?
What's that?
How do you feel? I mean, how does the knee feel?
Yeah, no, the knee's strong. Obviously, it was good to get out there for 4 games and really, you know, get out there and gain confidence and run around, you know, letting myself know that I'm fine. And so I'm excited for these next 13 games, you know what I mean, to really get after it, just knowing that, you know, the knee is strong, a ton of rehab, continue to stay up on the little things. So, yeah, everything's good there.
Did it take you 4 games to feel like that, or the first game?
No, I would say the first game I kind of knew. I'm like, okay, you know, and then practice, you know, the staff did a great job kind of just, you know, let me go, you know, at my pace. And then, you know, I feel like with the 4 games, it definitely just built more confidence after time. But I knew after the first game that I was going to be good.
And the defensive line made you a better player.
Oh yeah. That whole, you know what I mean. Our defensive line, that's our team. You know what I mean. So, you know, they make the defense go when those guys are firing, getting sacks, you know, disrupting stuff. You know, makes, you know, my job much easier. So I'm you know, happy to play behind some of those big boys. You know, let them do their thing, and then let me come and just clean stuff up. So it meshes well.
All right, good stuff from Sione there. Very good. Yeah, this is a nice team. It's very good out of you. That was very, very good of you. Cleveland Browns avocados from Peru and Meyer want you to enter the ultimate football sweepstakes. It's your chance to win a 2023 Ford Lightning electric pickup truck, VIP tour of the Cross Country Mortgage campus, or $1,000 Meyer gift card. Visit your local Meyer location, clevelandbrowns.com/avocados for more information on that. We will go around the league. Do you have something?
Number 1, I love the fact that Gibbe's still here. It's just hang
nice,
out,
nice
stay.
to have him here.
Number 2, the fresh helmet looks great. And number 3, are we going up with a beard?
Whoa.
Oh, God. Man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep, sad.
Sad.
Hate
So
to
sad.
see
So
it.
sad.
You hate to see
So
it.
sad. You hate to see it.
Hate to see that
I think
guy.
you set me up. I think you were over here, you saw it, and you were like,
I did
I'm
not.
gonna
I
say-
had
no,
no idea.
no, and I would give you credit for I would give you credit for that.
You would, but I don't do that. I'm here to support you and build you up.
And to build up the show.
Yeah,
I'll,
and build up.
I'll
Right.
do my best to tear it down on my own. No beard. I need.
No,
to shave
I
it.
can't. No,
It's itchy.
That's
no.
just you just wait a week.
Wait.
1 week.
Get through it.
1 week. 3
I
days,
kind of
you're
like
done.
it.
I mean,
I'm
I've
not
rolled
gonna
with
lie.
it before.
Yeah, I like it.
I like
it.
it.
Let's
I
roll
like
with it.
We get just trim the neck, and then you're
Yeah,
good.
I've got to.
Well, yeah, I end up with that. That happens.
It
That happens to all of
sometimes.
us.
Yeah, you take a couple of days. You relax. We'll go around the NFL and the sports world. Do you have another real quick?
Yeah, just along the lines of what we're talking about. You know how like they have permanent like hair removal where people can get that in certain parts of it. Like there should be something you just can put on your like who nobody wants hair. Nobody has a neck beard.
I don't need anything
Nobody
all
needs
the way
this.
down here.
Yeah, just a simple like one go. You probably can. I'm sure there's lasers.
It feels like that'd be. There's got to be an easier way.
I feel like if you're a Kardashian, that's taken care of
for sure.
You're going down to some place.
Can we
in
do
Beverly
that with
Hills.
Uno? Because he's got things going on all over the place.
Uno's got hair coming out of
Uno,
everywhere.
You need some lasers.
Uno, I feel like you have issues growing a facial hair.
Yeah, but he's not stopping him.
He's
still trying. You gotta try.
My main issue is that my razor died the last time I was trying to shave, and now I can't find the charger for
Okay,
it.
but the good news is you can literally buy a razor for about $3 anywhere.
So I'm gonna go do that.
You can do
But
that.
I
You
was
could buy
on
something on
vacation
Amazon
this
that would
weekend.
be
It was
in
a
your
whole
house.
thing. It was a
Yeah.
whole thing.
On
Right
the
when you
way
get
home,
Is it
get
in your
yourself
car?
a Bic.
Because I was in your car.
No, it is not in my car. Well, it could be. I haven't looked, but
Gibby
I
was
don't
in his
think so.
car?
I believe.
Drive me around, child.
Why are you?
I thought that Uno was a hoarder.
Why
When
are
I
you in
saw
his car?
Are you
though?
guys
Hold on. Why
palling
are you?
around on
why
the
I
are
thought he
highway?
needed to be on that show.
Why are
Hoarders.
you in his car?
Come on,
What-
young
what-
Squire.
what did I-
Let's go
was I
downtown.
in your
I'm going to
car
show
or did
you
I
real.
just
Drive
your
me.
car?
Drive me.
Drive me
Hold on, I
downtown.
don't
I'm
think
gonna
No,
show
we
you
were
real
going
Cleveland.
to
We're at a coach's show.
a coach's show or to the University Hospital's remote, and we parked next to each other, and you saw my car. And
Oh, okay.
I was like,
So you weren't
It's
in the
not
car.
I was not in the car.
Oh my
After
God.
I said
I
it, I'm
like
like,
the
that doesn't
idea.
sound-
Well,
no,
I
I don't
like
let
the
anyone
i-
go in that car. It's
I like the
dangerous.
idea of Gibby in the back seat, you driving him around
Totally. Yes.
places.
Yes.
Yeah. And it could be like the Kramer when he had his own tour.
Yeah.
Kramer Peterman Reality
Yeah.
Bus Tour. Could be like the Gibby Reality
Gibby.
Cleveland Tour.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Go
a
to the
good idea
VIP.
for
Go to all your
anybody.
The
places.
VIP. Yes.
All right, we will go around.
Is your picture up at the VIP? I feel
Should
like
be.
it should be.
We
You
gotta
should
get
have
that
a
happening.
picture up at the VIP.
All right, we'll go around the sports world and a lot of news on the NFL side of things coming up next. Cleveland Runs Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, visit your local Tide Cleaners during the month of October for a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Browns home game. You'll automatically be entered to win with any purchase. A couple of news around the NFL side of things. The Vikings, we mentioned some of this stuff a little earlier. Justin Jefferson on IR.
So
he'll miss at least 4.
Doesn't have a new contract.
Nope.
That feels like now they've almost kind of maybe got to go tanking.
Yeah, I'd trade Cousins now.
Can they trade Cousins, number one? Number two.
Is it doable?
I think it is doable. The second part is, if you are Justin Jefferson, are you in any hurry to come back without a contract?
No.
Not after this scare.
Right. That's what I mean.
No.
So,
Yeah, not great. Not great. Them and the Broncos, watch out for. It's interesting, too, because every Vikings game is right down to the wire. Last year they went 13-4 and won all of those games, and this year they're losing them all.
All of them. Because
every game. You just the odds. You can't fly that close to the sun all the time.
I wonder what their play-by-play guy's doing.
Oh, that guy's great. Yeah. I mean, Cousins didn't even get the throw off in the game on Sunday.
I might need to go
got
find
sacked.
that call.
It was just a sack off.
That would be great.
Like, he looked right at the rush, and then he just turtled and took it. Dolphins running back Devin Achan is it Achan? Achan? Devin Achan.
Devin Achan.
Who, by the way, how did this guy get missed? He played at Texas A&M. I was looking at his stats. His first year at A&M, he averaged like 10 yards a carry. Then it was like 8 yards a carry. Last year he was over 1,000 yards, almost 7 yards a carry playing at Texas A&M. How did people miss on him?
Because he's very small. I think size was the ability.
But he played in the SEC. It's not like he did this at Boise State playing a group of 5 schedule. He did it in the SEC.
There were a lot of people who, prior to the draft, he's 5'9", 180.
I understand, but he held up in the Southeastern Conference.
But he's already out now.
True, but if you, I don't know, just he's like seems to me weird that someone who produced at that level did not have more juice coming out.
They took him in the 3rd round.
Okay, I guess it's all right.
He's a 3rd-round pick, and basically before the draft, all everybody said was just don't let this guy end up with Miami.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah, but he's out a couple of weeks with a knee injury.
Mostert, and then if you're desperate for a running back, grab Jeff Wilson because he's back off IR.
There you go. NBC's Fantasy League, they have a maximum on the amount of transactions you can make.
In a season?
Outrageous.
That's outrageous. Who set this league
up? Terrible league. And you can only do 3 a week. Maximum of 3 a week and like a total of 25 on the year. It's crazy. So when you have injuries, you're just screwed. And you can't do the defensive thing either, where you have to keep him. Your back going to be okay?
I don't know, man.
You're really trying to rake it into it. It's hard. It's not great.
And I felt great coming
limber.
into the studio. The best that I've felt in a long time.
Cardinals starting running back James Conner expected to miss multiple weeks with a knee injury as well. Who's the backup there? I don't even know.
I don't know either. There was a guy. Let me see. Hold on.
They picked up somebody off waivers, but there must be somebody in the building.
Imari DeMercado, which sounds like a supermarket.
You said it.
Rushed for 45 yards and 1 touchdown on 10 carries in the loss of the Bengals. Also caught 1 of 3 targets for another 12 yards through the air. He was already in line for a bigger role with Keontae Ingram inactive, but ended up getting more snaps after James Conner went down. So Keontae Ingram, I'm guessing, is the top backup, but he's currently injured. So Amari DeMercado would be the guy there. Yeah, if you're gonna roll out an Amari DeMercado, that's fun to see. Yeah, and then the other guy I would say is if he's available in leagues with Khalil Herbert out, Roschon Johnson was a guy that I liked as a Browns prospect in this draft.
In non-football news, the IOC set to vote on adding flag football into the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. We have the Olympics have jumped the shark a long time ago, right? Like, what are we doing?
I think I still like watching pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's like the best 25 teams are going to be from the United States.
Well, in this sport, yeah. I mean,
so what are we doing? Like, what's the point of it? This is not a world sport.
Like, are the pros participating or
no? I think it's going to be no. It won't be like it's not going to be football players. It's going to be people who are like professional flag football players that you see like on the cable sports channels late at night.
This bums me out because I feel like in my heyday I might have had it. We got to the state of Georgia finals, won a state championship.
Look at that
with a team that I played on.
Did you win it?
Yeah, we won it.
You did. Nice. Very good. Yeah, I would assume it's like that. I think it's going to be like flag football.
I've hung up my Jeff George though.
So they're voting on that?
How is that possibly an Olympic sport, though, when we're the only country in the world that plays football?
I don't know.
It just seems silly. Here's the big thing I will say, though, and I got this talking to Nick Myers, the Ohio State lacrosse coach last summer when we were down there for the PLL thing. The reason it's a big deal to get when you become an Olympic sport, lacrosse is being voted on, I think, as well.
Lacrosse, squash, and cricket.
Yeah. So the reason it's a big deal is if you get to be an Olympic sport, then it opens up tens of millions of dollars in funding for the sport. So then when you want a grassroots effort to build the sport, there's money for it. So that's the big deal of becoming an Olympic sport. That's why so many fight for it so much.
Can I give you guys a fun stats from our good friend Joe Dolan, who's a good fantasy expert. He's at Fantasy Points. NFL yards per carry leaders, minimum of 25 carries. And I like the way he writes this out because you'll get to the conclusion in a second. Breece Hall, 7.2.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Achane before contact, 6.5. Nick Chubb, 6.1. Tajay Spears, you've heard me talk about him quite a bit, 5.8. DeAndre Swift, 5.7. Devin Achane after contact, 5.61. So if you do that quick math there, you're looking at 12.1 yards per carry that he's averaging. He's averaging 5 yards a carry more than number 2 in the NFL. He's averaging 12 yards a carry in the National Football League.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It is impossible. Somebody said that he reminds them of Chris Johnson, and I like that.
That's pretty good. All right, a little hot or not, Gibbe?
Hot or not? NFL coach hot seat rankings according to the Sporting News. Hot seat coaches. Number 1 on their list, Matt Eberflus, Bears.
I don't think so anymore. They've been lights out the last two games.
Although they did lose that game to Denver, even though it feels like they won.
But all that matters for them is Fields looking good. He's looked great the last 2 weeks.
By the way, speaking of that, I have a fantasy question for Zagura. Greg, Fields and Stroud are both available in my fantasy football league. Which one should I try to snag from the waiver?
Fields because of the run.
So, all right, there's that. So you're saying not. Josh McDaniels, Raiders, hot or not?
Not.
Aren't they into him for too much?
Yeah,
their owner
some of these
can't
are
pay
circumstances. Like Mark Davis isn't liquid, so he's not going to pay Josh McDaniels not to coach.
Agreed. Okay.
Next, Brandon Staley, Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, very hot.
It's another year.
What year is he in his contract?
He's at least in his third. It's probably a 4-year deal, so I would say he is. I'd have him top 2.
That's another owner though that necessarily I don't know what.
But it's one thing they only have to buy out 1 year versus multiple.
Yeah. Dennis Allen, New Orleans Saints.
They're 3-2.
No,
I think he'd be okay.
Fine.
Robert Saleh, New York Football Jets.
Zero
chance. Yeah.
Arthur Smith, Atlanta Falcons.
No.
So far, not great.
I don't think any of those are hot. I can't believe he doesn't have Belichick.
Belichick should be out.
Belichick and Brandon Staley would be the top of my list.
Number 8 on his list, Brian Daboll.
Maybe.
I don't know what's going to happen to Daboll. You guys were around when he was here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like your one shot, and he's probably a pretty good ball coach, but
you got Daniel Jones, your quarterback.
And you signed up for it.
Suck.
Yeah.
Just sucks.
Ron Rivera, the Commanders.
Yeah, hot.
After that effort last week.
Well, also ownership didn't hire him.
Yes.
I would say he might even be the hottest.
Yeah.
Number 11 on his list, Bill Belichick, New England.
Should be higher.
Yeah.
Again, they get a pass. Hey, they'll be on national TV Sunday afternoon.
It's one of the biggest miscalculations in television that they think that team is some sort of a ratings thing without Brady.
They're not.
They're not.
Here's the thing, like East Coast football. Giants, bad. Patriots, worse. I mean, it's Philly or die. Because I mean, the Jets, they're gonna be gritty, but I mean, let's face it. How much are they doing without Aaron Rodgers?
McCarthy should be high on this list.
He should be very high.
Number 12 is Sean Payton.
No, not year one.
Hey, how could they?
He could just shut it down on it. Well, that's Walmart money. They can do whatever they want. So I mean, you could. But
I guess that's a lot of money to just throw away after a year. What
and
was the deal?
He gave up draft picks.
Yeah. What was the deal they signed him to?
Belichick. Here's the entire list. Belichick.
Would you put Frank Reich on that list?
After today.
number 13 on the list.
After today, man.
Now, according to him, he says cooling off the hot seat. Mike McCarthy, Cowboys.
No.
I would beg to differ. I think that's going to be hot all year.
Yeah.
Especially
I like your play with Belichick there. That, to me, makes a lot of sense.
to Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say hot
He
seats.
would Bill would love get himself a big belt buckle, prancing around.
yeah.
He'd love that.
Belichick,
Let me ask you guys this: have you guys noticed that the team doc of the Cowboys wears a businessman Stetson?
Yes.
All the time.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Have you guys spent any extended amount of time in the Dallas area?
Not
Have
much.
not.
Okay. I have on 2 separate occasions. It is contagious. Like, I grew up with boots and hats and all that stuff, but when you're down there, you're almost like, yeah, I think I can do that. I think I'm gonna do that.
I can pull it off.
Yeah. You're like, I think this seems to make sense down there. And you walk into a boot shop and you go, yeah, let's roll these out. If there's something about that area that it takes to you. You can understand it.
I love it. I love when he runs out there.
So great.
I'm like, guys down.
That
I
guy's
feel
all
bad. but
business.
There we go.
Here he
Yeah,
comes.
he's coming.
Yeah, I love that outfit.
You're going to be just fine, buddy.
Yep, I like that guy in that business.
If not, we're going to take you out back and old yeller you.
Sort
That's
it out, man.
Yep.
You got to sort it out. I love that. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, I think those are the ones. Those
They
are
had Todd
there's like
Bowles
4 or 5.
on the list. I'm like,
They're
no.
3-1.
Yeah.
No, not at all. They play Sunday against the Leos, don't they? I think they have the Lions Sunday, and they're wearing the creamsicles.
They are wearing the creamsicles. I know that.
Yeah. It's them against the
Lions Buccaneers 425 on
That's
Fox.
your national.
That
Fox
got
game.
flexed.
That's your national Fox game, and they'll be in the creamsicles on that.
Beautiful.
OBM, the preferred copier provider, copies and document service for the Cleveland Browns. You can tackle any size office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. We'll do a little higher or lower coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Pet Supplies Plus, giving you a chance to win tickets to home games all season long while providing the best deals for your pet at over 75 stores throughout Ohio. Enter to win at clevelandbrowns.com/Pet Supplies Plus. Receive a coupon to use at your local store with your entry. Pet Supplies Plus, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for Higher or Lower, presented by Keep It Fun Ohio from the Ohio Lottery, offering easy ways to keep gambling fun. Hello, Gibby.
Hi, boys. From Sports Illustrated's Connor Orr.
All right.
He's been on this program a few times. He leads it off with welcome back to the power rankings. So I don't know if he hasn't done the first 4 weeks and he just wanted to kind of.
So this is probably what a power ranking or a college football poll should be, is you should wait a month and then do it.
I like it.
So if this is what he did, if this was a conscious decision, then I like it.
He says, at this point, the great mystery of the NFL season begins to take hold. We know which teams are really good and pretty good, but which teams are going to figure it out and make a run? Someone somewhere on the back end of this list is going to have a fun end of their season, and while it will be cute to see anyone try and beat the 49ers, I'll enjoy having some parity among the 31 other plebeian teams in the league.
Great use of pleb. Love it.
Away we go.
Love it.
Number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs, and it takes us to number 4 on today's first installment of Higher or Lower, the Detroit Lions. Bo Bishop, lead us off, higher, lower, or just right?
It's fine, I think, for the Lions. I think the issue here is Miami at 6.
Yeah.
So he just has Miami too far down. Miami lost one game in kind of a weird way. That game was going back and forth. It's 21-14. The Dolphins fumbled to make it 28-14, and then it kind of just gets away.
Got away.
It just got away.
Yeah.
But so it was really competitive up until that fumble, and they were going to go tie it at 21-21. So Miami just needs to be up probably 3, and then the Lions I'm fine at 4. I'd probably have Kansas City right there with them, but it's kind of a sweet spot for Detroit. Big credit to them. I don't understand the long-term building of it, like drafting linebackers and off-ball linebackers and running backs, but it's working for right now.
Yeah, I like and the Lions, let's not forget, beat the Chiefs on opening night. So I have no problem with them being at 4. I agree. I would probably keep the Lions at 4, and I would move, Dallas being at 5 is stunning to me. I'd move Miami up to number 3. And I think the Bills smoked the Dallas Cowboys if they played head-to-head right now.
Next.
Lower.
There you go.
Better or worse?
Dallas was 5.
No.
The Dolphins are 6. All right, quick conversation, because I also have it for the pregame show I'm putting together for Sunday. But I'll ask you two this. Better offense through 5 games, Dolphins or 49ers?
The Dolphins have right now have the highest historic, yeah. Most yards through 5 games ever. Highest EPA
by a
per play
margin, right?
Highest EPA per play ever by a lot. The Niners are actually, in the last 10 years, the best EPA per play, and I don't remember if it was 2.3 or if it was, I think it was 0.233 was the Chiefs. 1 year where the Chiefs were just bonkers. It was 0.237. The Niners this year are 0.233, and the Dolphins are 0.27.
Yeah.
In another stratosphere. So the Dolphins.
Do you ever
Niners are amazing, though.
Isn't it's interesting that Kansas City, a little bit of arrogance that they thought that they could do the Tyreek. They got a bunch of stuff back, can't keep everybody, but you have this historic group of pieces, and you go the other way and you get draft picks back, but you've missed on them in comparison to what he was.
Yeah, and they would be and we won the Super Bowl last year.
They did. It's true. It's true.
So
it is.
What's the goal?
They would have won it with him too, though. I mean, you
for
just
sure.
won it.
But
it worked because Mahomes is a wizard. It works, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Purdy or Tua if you need a touchdown.
I mean, right now,
just take out your confidence level in the quarterback alone.
Brock Purdy. What has he done that's not? Everything he does is good. People are starting to invoke the name of the great Joe Montana, which is hard for me to get my head around. But then they showed his 10-game stretch as a starting quarterback. In those 10 games, he's 10-0. I mean, this is nuts. He's 10-0, 70% completions, 22 touchdowns, 4 picks. quarterback rating of 114.4. This year he has not thrown a pick yet this year. He has 9-0. He's completing 72% of his passes. Quarterback rating of 123, leads the league in that, leads the league in air yards per attempt, leads the league in quarterback rating, leads the league in QBR, leads the league in interception percentage. I mean, he's good every single game. I don't know. Brock Purdy, especially with Kyle calling the plays, yeah, I'll take it.
Here's the thing. I saw that somebody said this to me this morning. They're like, because someone took umbrage with calling him Mr. Irrelevant. And I'm like, you guys, you might not remember this, but there was a time that, and we all do, where every time Tom Brady was introduced, it was former sixth round pick.
Yeah.
Like, it fueled him, it defined him, and it drove him. And I think it could do the same thing for Purdy. So, like, I think the Mr. Irrelevant thing is wonderful. And I'm guessing he leans all the way into it.
They showed Steve Young had an incredible 10-game stretch with the Niners at one point.
Incredible career.
No, Montana had an incredible 10-game stretch with the Niners at one point. By the way, the Niners have won 15 straight regular season games, and that just ties the franchise record. Like,
that's right.
They've done this before. And his numbers were right there with, obviously, different game, different era. But and what more do you want a guy to do than have a 5.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio, average 9 yards an attempt basically for his career, complete 70% of his passes? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's also like they don't get credit for drafting him. Like,
no,
did they even know
you get
who
no
he
credit.
was? Did they even know who he was? Just take a quarterback.
You get no credit.
That's fine. Purdy's fine. We take.
Well,
him.
you saw like even people now in
stop it.
Pittsburgh
Stop
are
it.
like starting to be like say. There were guys in the Steelers organization that wanted
Shut up.
Purdy in the 6th
No.
round, and then said
No.
they took Ola Dukan, and
no,
okay,
stop
whatever.
it. Stop it.
Next.
You had no idea. It was
No credit.
Higher or lower?
All right, the Dolphins were 6th, the Bills 7. It takes us to number 8, the first AFC North team, the Baltimore Ravens. Zagura, higher, lower, or just right?
It's hard for me because I don't know necessarily. I don't know what the Ravens are. I haven't been that impressed with them, but Lamar's starting to play really good ball. But if you were saying to me right now, if Burrow's healthy as he is, I still think the Bengals are probably better than they are.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. The Jags just beat the Bills. I like them. I think that the drop-off after you get out of 6, and I'm throwing the Dallas Cowboys out of 6, is pretty significant. But the team that would feel, and I'm putting the Bills back in, the team that would feel the most likely to come out of that group is the Bengals still.
Of this next group?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
so
sure. Yeah.
I would have to
'Cause
have
they've done
them
it for 2
higher
years.
than or better than the Ravens. But I think that whole group from team 7 through Seattle, Cincinnati, Chargers, Jags, I don't think the Steelers belong there. I mean, we're behind the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get
Jeez
to us.
Louise.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
We're behind the
read.
Colts.
Yeah,
We better beat them.
Next.
Higher or lower?
Seahawks 9, the Bengals number 10, the Chargers 11, Jacksonville 12, at number 13, the Pukers. Higher, lower, just right, Bishop.
Do you guys remember on the draft? It was right around the draft, and I said we were talking about them, and I'm like, they are taking Joey Porter Jr. Do not find a way out of it. Didn't they pick him with the first pick in the second round because they had the pick?
Yep.
Yeah, the Bears pick, and I'm like, he's a dude. You saw
Chase Claypool.
It's the Claypool deal. And you
It's
go,
unreal.
I'm like, he's a dude. He was a dude at Penn State. Like, he is going to be a son of a motherless for them. And sure enough, guess who has the number 1 rated cornerback grade in the NFL last week? Joey Porter Jr. So they just get these guys. They just, the second round, put them in, go.
Dupree, do you remember,
This
linebackers?
Timmons, then you
things that
put
just
Timmons
fall
in, he's good. Then Woodley's good. Then Watt. I mean, they just get one after another.
Highsmith is like a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
They just crush. They crush
You'll be
defensive
fine.
players.
We're almost
They do.
done.
They crush defensive players in the draft.
Yeah, they're great.
Crush it.
They draft well. Are they a good football team? No. They have probably the most clutch defensive player in the league. They've got a dreadful offense, and you can't, on some ways maybe it's luck, and another way they make their own destiny of being able to win games that they should be not just lose, they should be beaten by double digits.
Soundly.
Now, and they've been beaten soundly twice. They have
Yeah.
2 just beatings. Their point
Texans
differential again
crushed 'em.
is -31.
Yeah.
They beat the
Next.
Raiders, who are not great. They beat us
Higher or
absurd, and they beat the
lower?
Ravens absurd. I mean, the Ravens have to be kicking themselves for blowing
Who
that
else
game.
smoked them?
The Niners, week 1.
Oh, yeah, Niners, yeah.
Jets 14, Falcons 15, Buccaneers 16, Saints 17, 18 the Colts. And that takes us to us at number 19. Zakura, higher, lower, or just right?
We're definitely better than a lot of these teams, but we got to do it, you know? And right now, I think people don't look at the fact that our defense is all-time elite, which should put you in the top half to begin with. We still are, whether people like it or not, 2-1 with 2 blowout wins with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And the one game we lost was one of the most egregious losses of all time. But we're still 2-1 with 2 blowouts with Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
This is why the loss going into the bye week and 4 not playing sucked.
Of course.
It sucked in the moment. It sucked immediately. You knew it was going to suck the Monday after. You knew it was going to be a week and a half of suck, and that's what's happened.
If that happened in week 3.
If they were inverted.
Yep, and then we beat the Titans.
Then you're
going into this, we're top
It's just the timing.
12
it's just
on all of these.
And you
power
knew
polls.
these 2 weeks would be brutal.
Ooh,
look
I
at
like
that.
Look
Ooh.
at that. Yeah. Frank's got a lot of good.
What's he got? Is he the designer on all that?
I don't know. That looked like a.
He helped
that
put
like a
together
US
the
Open
security
something?
gear
What
that I
was
now wear.
I couldn't
It
tell.
looked like-
yeah, the security gear he wears
And
is
he's
very strong.
He's wearing the joggers of your other favorite.
We've got to wrap the segment, but I will say this: he
it.
has the Patriots at 25.
That's way too
They're
high.
way too high.
The Bears
Like-
should not be 30 either. The Bears should not be
He
30.
had the Giants 26, the Vikings 27.
Vikings are better than the 20s.
Arizona 28, the Raiders 29, Bears
Who's he got
30,
31?
Broncos.
Oh, okay.
It
Still-
should be Panthers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the bottom of the league. All right, so much more to come. You'll see Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
chance.
If a car, truck, or motorcycle accident caused your injury, call their injury lawyers at 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. There you go.
By the way, so I'll leave everybody with this because it's kind of apropos for what just happened right here. So periodically, I'll just hear my dad evil laugh somewhere, and I know he has said something just insane.
Yeah.
To Sue, and normally she's just like,
What am I doing with that?
What have we done here?
Yeah.
What have we done?
He's pumped though. I dropped on him that I was like, "You're coming in Friday. You're guest
Sorry,
picker."
bad math. 1 minute.
He's pumped.
He's coming in to guest pick last time through?
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. Was that the
Some
same?
people get McConaughey. Some people get Pedro.
That's right. I'd rather have Pedro.
I'd rather have Pedro.
By far.
Well, maybe we'll see if he can hit the tricep thing.
Hit that
McConaughey.
tricep like he did. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, tomorrow we're on to San Francisco.
Turn to the
There's
page.
a game week.
They're
Practice.
Good. They're good. They're very, very good. Going to be a
Reports.
very interesting
We're back to
morning.
quarterback report season.
Oh,
is he
baby.
practicing? Oh, baby. Yeah.
We love
Really
this.
fun.
We know how to do this note. All right, the next level is coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.